Bombshell new emails uncovered by House Republicans. This is a report that says that House Republicans have disclosed these new emails that Dr. Fauci commissioned a scientific paper back in February of 2020 to disprove the Wuhan lab leak theory. 8 weeks later, Fauci would cite that paper while saying he did not know its authors. Take a listen to what he said.
There was a study recently that we can make available to you where a group of highly qualified evolutionary virologists looked at the sequences there and the sequences in bats as they evolve. And the mutations that it took to get to the point where it is now is totally consistent with a jump of a species from an animal to a human. So, I mean, the paper will be available. I don't have the authors right now, but we can make that available to you.
Yeah, interesting there. Let's bring in our panel to discuss. Former New York City Records Commissioner Brian Anderson, host of Money Talk with Melanie Collette, and lawyer and GOP strategist Ford O'Connell. Melanie, what are your thoughts on this? When I saw this, I thought, now, I want to get the reporting confirmed on this, but if this is true, it totally, any credibility that Fauci had left anyway, this kind of kills that, doesn't it?
If there was 1 ounce of credibility that he had, I would say that it's gone. Of course, Ford can speak to the legality of this, but at the very least, I would think this would have to be unethical to do something like this. I was so disgusted. It was really hard for me to smile after seeing that clip because I am just so angry as, you know, an American citizen that Dr. Fauci would do this, would look right in the camera and lie to the American people in the middle of a full-blown pandemic simply to protect himself from liability that he clearly knew he had.
Yeah, Ford, why would he do this?
Well, that is a great question. I think it dates back to the Washington Post 2011 article where he supported gain-of-function research and said that the United States should be funding it and engaging in this activity. And that was contra to both Presidents Obama and President Trump. I'm going to take it a step up here, Bob. I think that this is one of the greatest scandals in modern American history. And the reason is very simple. We have to know what we got wrong during the COVID lockdowns and everything else, because trust me, this is going to be happening again in some form, in some other shape. And frankly, the fact that we're not getting to the bottom of this scandal is absolutely atrocious.
And Brian, I recall hearings in Congress where they asked him the question, I think Rand Paul was asking about, did you put money into this program? Did you have anything to do? And it's like, you supported gain of function. And he was very adamant about, no, there was no gain of function. He was splitting hairs somewhere using some medical terms that were trying to get away from it. But isn't this what the theory was all along, that he had some vested interest, something may have gone wrong, but that he was trying to say, no, it didn't come from that, which I was involved in, by the way. And that's why he would want to have a report like this, if this information is true.
Well, Rand Paul was very much in his face consistently, and still is, about this. This was just a monumental shell game to think that this man was a trusted voice early on in this crisis, which literally shut our country down, ruined lives. You've still got people walking around with 2 and 3 masks on. We didn't know what we were talking about then, and we still don't know what we're talking about, primarily due to this man.
Yeah, and Melanie, when I remember Fauci at first, I had no reason to doubt anything he was saying. We were all new at this, we didn't know. But as soon as it came out that, oh, he tried to talk people not into wearing a mask so that medical people could have the mask, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. So now you're getting political, and it seems like he definitely has had his own interests.
For sure, and I think I've said it before on this show, that Dr. Fauci, in my opinion, should have been conflicted out. You can't tell me there isn't another virologist that we could have had to be in charge of the COVID pandemic. Once we found out that he was involved in any work concerning that lab, he should have been conflicted out of having anything to do with the plan to protect it. And Senator Paul also asked him about his involvement in the creation of the vaccines and any kickbacks from Pfizer. And he split hairs on answering that question as well.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Stand by, everybody, if you will. We have more to talk about, including coming up. Will Joe Biden's tuition forgiveness plan fly? The Supreme Court has yet to rule. It's heard arguments, but they've been given signs on which way they're leaning. More on that and more after